Cloud. We'll start the meeting. Welcome to this very small committee meeting, but it's a small committee, even with Omar, who, one of these days, Omar Murray, for the record, I would like to meet you.
Yeah, because,
He wasn't at the board meeting either, and he hasn't come to a single one of these since when I took over last year. But then I was assured this year he was going to come. When it was on the list, I was like, is he going to come? Julie was like, yes. So anyway.
maybe it's just
exactly.
Maybe.
He's welcome to come.
Right.
He still can show up. We have quorum though, anyway, which is cool, because we just need 3 for that, which is half of what we have here, which is perfect. Or more than half.
You have to get attendance approval before you join us.
Right, exactly. Okay, so, we actually do official roll call? So I'm here. Laura Spalter. Here. Stephen Fruit could not make it. Emily is here. Omar Murray, not. Karen Argente, maybe will come in later. Robert Fazuli, I'm sorry, is on Zoom. I see you nodding.
Do you see there's people waiting to enter?
Yeah, well, that's new.
Do you know
Cool.
who they are?
I don't, but they can come in. Sure.
Oh, there's DSNY.
Well, they're joining by Zoom, DSNY.
Yes, yeah. Yes, exactly. We're getting to them right now. Okay, and Robert Spalter we know. So yes, we have 3 plus 1 virtually. That is enough for present. We can quickly approve minutes of May 15th that you received, and while you weren't here, you approve of them, or anyone has any comments on them.
Motion to approve.
Can I second if I was
Yes.
here?
Yes.
Second.
You're here now. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's.
So, okay,
That's good.
vote to approve, any abstentions or noes? No, so unanimously approved. Yes. Chairperson's report is, I don't know, just a good placeholder in case you have to say anything, but we will get to everything I have to say, I think.
Yeah.
So we have acknowledgement of guests, should also maybe been in here. Guests. So we have in person, if they would like to introduce themselves.
Michael O'Sullivan. Aaron Benmere.
You wrote your names on there.
Aaron is a former member of Community Board 8.
I started as a community member of Environment and Sanitation.
Right.
And Bert Feinberg was the chair.
Right.
There we go.
Then we also have Antonio from the Department of Sanitation, which will be our next thing, so we will just go to him and then.
Good evening, everyone.
This is him.
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, great.
Well, did someone buzz? Where'd she go?
I think she may have heard my phone.
So she's holding it. Okay, so Antonio, we're ready for you. I made you co-host if you wanted to share or do anything, but.
Oh, great. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with everyone. All right. Can everyone see that, that posting?
Yes.
Okay, great. So good evening, everyone. My name is Antonio Whitaker. I'm with the Community Affairs Unit at the Department of Sanitation. Pleasure being here with you all this evening. So I just wanted to just make a few brief announcements before I open it up to the floor for any of your sanitation related questions and or concerns. So as many of you may know, come October 6th, so it's a little under a month from now, curbside composting will be coming to the Bronx, Manhattan, and Staten Island. Curbside composting is already underway in Brooklyn and Queens. And so What that basically means is that the Department of Sanitation will pick up your compost every week on your recycling day. I hope that all of you have put in for your free brown bins from the department. They're pretty good bins, and they're very sturdy. I use mine every Friday to remove my own compost and yard waste on my recycle day, which is Friday. So I highly recommend that you put in for your brown bin to receive one for free from the department if you haven't already done so. So what can you put in your brown compostable bin? You can put in any type of food scraps. You can put in bones. You can put in dairy. And you can also put in food soiled paper like napkins that have grease on them that you've used maybe if you were using them to wipe off your hands and your face after you've eaten. You can put pizza boxes in your compost bin because pizza boxes, while they are cardboard, with the grease on them, they can be composted. And you can also put in any yard and leaf waste that you have as well. You can mix both of them together. It's absolutely fine because it's all organic material and it all goes to the same facility in Staten Island to be composted. While you don't have to line your brown bin, we do suggest that you do line the bin with a bag. You can line your brown compost bin with any bag you want, either a clear plastic bag or a black trash bag. But I like to recommend that if you are going to line your bin, to use a clear plastic bag because all your recyclables already have to be put out in clear plastic bags. So and your trash needs to be put out in black bags. So my suggestion is to just kind of keep it uniform and use a clear plastic bag to line your bin if you are going to be using it. So the next quick announcement I'd like to make is that many of you probably have received this mailer already. Come November 12th, all trash must be set out in a bin with a secure lid. The bins can't be any bigger than 55 gallons. So I'm assuming that many of you already put your trash out in bins. Whatever bin you're currently using is absolutely fine, just as long as it's no larger than 55 gallons. The official New York City trash bin, which is the bin that you see here on my screen, you can purchase through our vendor at www.bins.nyc. You do not have to buy the bins now. They will become mandatory come June of 2026. So you have about 2 years before you're required to start using only the official black NYC trash bins to containerize your trash. But in the interim, from now until then, you can use any bin that you currently have. It, again, just can't be any larger than 55 gallons. If you are planning to purchase a bin or a black bin or any of the other bins that our vendor is offering, because he also offers the brown compost bins. If you want extras, you can buy extras, and they also offer blue and green recyclable bins for your paper and for your plastic and glass. The only bin that you will be required to have eventually will be the black trash bin. The other three bins you're not required to have; they are recommended because they're just neater. You know, put everything into bins and set it out for your sanitation workers to service on your trash and recyclable days. Just a little bit neater and a little bit easier for us. But you can still put out again your recyclables in clear plastic bags, but you do need to use a bin though for any compostable material that you have. Your yard waste, if you're not using a bin for your yard waste, you can put your yard waste, like your leaves and grass and twigs and such, in a clear plastic bag to set out. but we highly recommend that you just use your compost bin to set out your yard waste along with your compostable waste. So on November 12th, houses of worship will also be required to containerize their trash. For those houses of worship that do receive pickup from the Department of Sanitation, they will have to use bins that are 55 gallons or less, just like for residential units, 1-2 family homes, and residences that have buildings that have 9 or less units. But if they use a private carter, then they can't use the official bin. They can continue to use whatever bins they're currently using, but they just need to talk with their private carter directly to make sure that their bin meets their private carter's requirements. And lastly, the last announcement that I'd like to make is that the fines for cleanliness violations for businesses has increased. So for a business that fails to keep the front of its property clean and orderly, or if they do not containerize their trash, which they should be doing, since the directive for containerization of trash for businesses went into effect in March, then the first violation will remain the same at $50, but the second violation has increased to $300, and the third and subsequent violations will be $500 each. So that's already in place. That's already being implemented. So if any of you see a business within the district that is not following standard cleanliness rules, setting out their garbage way too early, not containerizing their trash, their sidewalk has litter and trash strewn all over it, please file a 311 request. And enforcement during the commercial enforcement hours will go by those businesses to do a spot check. And if they haven't rectified that situation prior to sanitation enforcement getting on the scene, then they will be summoned, and those summonses can add up fairly quickly. So those are the announcements that I have to make. I am here to answer any sanitation related issues that you may have, or answer any questions about any of the new regulations.
Remember the issues of the Kingsbridge people who attended last year?
Right,
About
we had,
criteria for tickets and how to challenge them?
I know, we had, this is on your radar in case you've never heard of this. There were a couple residents in the Kingsbridge area that said they were getting, basically what they said were bogus sanitation department tickets that they feel like were for violations like, not raking the leaves on their sidewalk, that like weren't even true, but were like developers trying to scare them. Like people who wanted to who have been hounding them to buy their properties, and now they're reporting things to you to just get them tickets. Is there increase, or have you seen a greater amount of enforcement in certain areas in our district?
Homeowners in residential.
Yeah. Among homeowners, is there a way to find out if that's the case?
Well, I think so the answer to that question is I don't have that information to provide. But what I can do is if I'll leave my information. Is there a chat here? I just want to make sure I wasn't 100% sure. If there is a chat, I can leave my contact information chat, and if I can have that information emailed or emailed to me, sent to me, I can look at any of those violations and talk to our enforcement divisions to see what can be done about that. But generally, when a summons is issued, the only way for the person who received that summons to fight it is to go through the Office of Administrative Trials and Hearings, which is oath. So they would have to, go through their hearing and, convince the administrative law judge who hears their case, as to why the ticket should be thrown out. And my suggestion is to make sure that if you have any evidence to that fact as to why you don't think that you have received the ticket, make sure that you present that during your hearing. And that's pretty much the only real way to go about fighting a ticket. Unfortunately, the department is not able to discharge tickets just based on by ourselves unilaterally. So we have to tell folks they need to go through oath and go through the process. But if you send me like locations and times and dates for when folks got summonses, I can look into that.
Okay, thank you. Bob, you raise your hand.
Yes, Dan and sir, thank you for your presentation of the program. This has been a priority of this community board for a decade, going back to 2014 when it was first piloted here and in Douglastown. So we do see some changes, however, in the waste stream of compost, and I just wanted to draw attention to that for the benefit of the public and the committee. We also are supporters of the compost project, which is no longer being funded as a community-based education. Our goal has always been to regenerate soil, make it productive, useful, and helpful. So could you speak about the destination for the curbside compost and its role in the waste management plant in the South Bronx? Do you know about that, or can you tell us a little bit about that? I just wanted to clarify about, if people don't know about the compost waste stream, and we are no longer exporting to compost sites off-site out of the city.
So compost generally goes to our Staten Island facility. So I'm not familiar with the facility in the Bronx that the compost actually goes to, but we do send compost to our Staten Island facility, and the DEP also has an anaerobic digestion facility in Newtown Creek.
Right.
But the majority of compost that is collected from the two boroughs that currently have it ongoing, and for the few other places like in Board 8, in the Bronx, in your board, which I believe which was part of the pilot early on for a couple of years.
Yeah, it was.
So your compost generally goes to the Staten Island facility to fresh.
Well, I asked because Waste Management is filing a permit to do the work that Newtown Creek, National Grid is doing at Newtown Creek. And it's just important to make plain to the public the purpose of their composting. In this case, it would be used for natural gas energy generation. So we just want to make sure we get Dan for future clarification. Where does our compost go? Because I've heard there are changes in changes in the role of waste management on the Newtown Creek model, which is creating a slurry for natural gas energy generation.
Right. I did see something a while ago in I believe it was the City magazine, where there was a whole thing about an article about the process that is used at Newtown Creek.
Yeah, people aren't happy about it.
I'm sorry, say again?
People aren't happy about that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know they create some type of a slurry, like everything gets squeezed, and there's a byproduct that is created from a slurry. And I believe there's like the National Grid. The process is proprietary, so
sure.
They let folks know about it. But again, that's from what I read about what goes on.
Yeah, you know what we know what he's saying. All right. Yeah, so we just want to know because we are early adopters. Okay, Antonio, just to let you know, early adopters and supporters. And I personally have testified at many budget hearings for full funding for uh, curbside and or organics and for um, compost projects. So we'll check back, and I'm sure Dan will do a good job getting the facts out.
Right. And another question here?
Thank you. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, the small brown cans that we're using now, can we still use those for the compost?
Yes, they're exactly the same. That's what they're giving out now. They
And
just,
the
if people
leaves,
want
when
more.
the leaves come, what type of bag should we use for the leaves in the fall?
So,
Antonio,
oh yeah, so I can answer. I heard the question, so I can answer it. So obviously, if you have a brown compost bin, obviously that can be used for your compost and for your yard waste. If you
That's what we're doing now. Yeah.
Right. So right.
The leaves are the. We
Right.
have a lot of leaves in our street.
So for leaves and yard waste, you can dispose of it in a few ways. Obviously, you can put it in your brown compost bin because again, that's all organic material, so that all breaks down the same. So you can mix your food with your yard waste because it all goes to the same facility because it's all organic. For your yard waste. Not necessarily for your compostable items like your food, but for your yard waste, you can either put it out in clear plastic bags if you're not going to use a bin for it, or if you have those paper leaf bags that you can get from a home store like Home Depot or Ace, you can put your leaves and yard waste in that, because those paper bags are recyclable, so it all just gets shredded and goes to the same place.
Okay.
Now, on that same thing, for several years, the Department of Sanitation would give the community board a box or two, as much as we would take, of those bags, and we would distribute them to the public. I don't know if we got them this year.
Okay,
someone mentioned it at the meeting that they were giving them out.
Get those bags.
Someone mentioned it. I don't know if it was
Paper bags.
us giving it out or like Eric said it or something. I don't
remember.
Someone said they were giving out leaf bags.
Oh, yeah, no, the board used to give out leaf bags.
No, but I mean, like, at the meeting this
month,
someone mentioned it, but I don't remember if it was a representative or,
Oh, I didn't see them. Okay.
Julie. I don't remember who said it.
Well, if you do get those in stock, the board would be very happy to take them and distribute them.
Okay, that's not a problem. I think we have some that we can send to you, so yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. I believe also
that leaves on certain days as well.
Wait, so that's the thing. So basically, for our area, our compost pickup is not on the same as our recycling day. That will instantly switch on October 6th?
Yes.
Everything will be picked up on one day. In other words,
yeah, compost and recycling and trash most likely will all be that day. Whatever your recycling day is becomes compost day as well.
And trash day?
we have two.
Just the same as compost
We have two trash.
as well.
It won't affect
Other days.
It'll affect the
I want to make sure that he's going to say that. Excuse me, Mr. Go ahead, please.
Trash is in a bag and the
Thank you, Mr. Whitaker. My name is Aaron Ben-Mayer. I'm a guest at this meeting, and I just wanted to follow up on a number of questions that were asked before. My friend and neighbor, Mike O'Sullivan, asked you about pickups and recycles and leaves. We live on a small, narrow, dead-end street around the corner from the community board office, and we have trash pickups on Tuesday and on Friday. We get the leaves and organics picked up on Thursday, and on Friday we also have pickups for metal, glass, and paper recycles. So let me understand, are we going to basically keep the same schedule, or is everything going to go to one day for recycles?
So everything is going to be picked up on all your recyclable materials as well as your compost will be picked up on your recycling day, starting.
Okay. And the other question I have is Mike O'Sullivan mentioned, small narrow street, I have a huge 150-year-old oak tree in the front, and it discharges tens of thousands of leaves every fall. Now, you mentioned that we can continue to either use the clear bags or the paper leaf bags. That will continue even after November 2024, or if 2026, we don't have to buy special bins for the leaves?
No. So the way you're discarding your recyclables now, as well as your leaf and yard waste, you can continue to do so after November 12th. As of right now, the department has not put out any type of directive or instruction as to whether or not residents will need to containerize their recyclables or their recyclables starting in June of 2026. The only bin that you're going to be required to have, again, starting June of 2026, will be the black trash bin. And I'll just bring that up here on the screen. The other bins are recommended, but you don't need to buy those.
Okay. What about the labeling of cans? Are they available at the community board office, to show whether it's paper recycles or metal or?
No.
Those, and I know this because I've ordered them myself, you can request them online from the Department of Sanitation, and they'll send you as many stickers as you ask for, and
Like
whichever size.
recycling
Yeah, like the
or-
squares
yeah.
you put on the bin.
Right.
Yeah, they'll send you those. I even got a mouse pad once.
Where do you
Thank you,
request
Mr. Witt.
Department of
Just
Sanitation
put that in the
website.
minutes, how to get
Yeah.
those labels
Yeah.
for regular
Mike
I'll
has
put a link.
I
link.
have one more question. Are these new cans going to be picked up by the truck? We have this,
In the
the
future.
same in New Jersey, we have at the beach, the truck comes and picks it up.
That's the hope, is that's why they'll be required by 2026, they hope to have retrofitted or bought
Right.
new trucks.
That
Those
is
going to be much larger trucks, because I live at a very
They're gonna
narrow.
be side-loading ones,
Okay.
No.
the idea, right?
Wonder if they'll be able to,
It would be hard on our street because we don't have sidewalks.
okay.
So I just heard I just heard someone make a comment, a truck's going to be larger. No. So what we're doing is we are affixing a side loader arm to our current fleet. We will have some new trucks, but they're going to be the exact same size as the current truck. Yeah.
They'd have to be, because, right, some
Yeah.
streets are very small. I just make the turn onto that street every time out of here.
Right. And the arms
You
hold.
don't have sidewalks, you don't know where to leave the can.
I have one more question, I'm sorry. You mentioned that, the only bin that will be required, would be for trash, now, I still have some bins for recycles. I'm not talking about the organic, food compost. I'm talking about, cans, metal, paper, newspapers, cardboard. Will they also require a secure lid, or can I continue to use the cans I have which do not have secure lids?
For your recyclables, is that the cans that you use for your recyclables? Was that the?
Yeah, the recyclables, specifically the paper, the cardboard, the metal, and the glass. I'm not talking about food or any other recyclables. Will they require a secure lid? Even the old bins that we have, will they require a secure lid?
So currently, for recyclables, no. But I highly recommend that if you have lids for those and you're going to continue to use your bins for recyclables, my suggestion would be to use the bins, because I wouldn't want for a sanitation provider to kind of drive by your house, see bins that hopefully they're labeled. Hopefully they're labeled. If you have a sticker or you write recyclables or whatever, something on it, so that we know when we come by your house that these cans are for recyclables and not for trash. Because I wouldn't want you to get a summons for not having a lid on a trash can, right? If they are labeled, then you should be okay. But if they're not labeled, my suggestion is to get lids for those cans. But for your trash can, you do need to have a lid, and it needs to be able to
Secure lid, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the way I understand it, we'll still have two different types of trucks coming. One that will hook up to this and the other for the recycled. People will just
Do it the normal way still,
do
yeah.
it the normal way.
Because
Yeah,
they still let it be on bags. Because the idea, I think, is right. The main point of these is to reduce rats, and the rats aren't really going into your recycling that hopefully you've washed out and are,
Right.
you know, not.
We have had these in New Jersey. I'm at the shore. We have had these for years. They work good. They take a lot of garbage.
So are they not? You don't care. You're not like color coding recycling anymore. Like I feel like you used to want like
I have a
paper
blue-
in green and recycling in blue, right?
Right. So if you go onto the website for the official New York City bins, the bins.nyc website, we do sell. The vendor is selling blue and green recyclable bins, but you are not required to have those. It's encouraged because they look really nice, and it's nice to keep everything orderly, but it's not required.
You don't require or even necessarily want blue plastic bags for recyclables. You just say clear, or blue's okay too? Because I feel like a lot of recycling bags are sometimes blue.
Yeah, you talking about like the light blue translucent bags?
Yeah.
So my suggestion is to use clear bags. Technically, you're not supposed to use the blue translucent bags. You're only supposed to use the clear ones, but most district supers turn a blind eye because they're still sold in supermarkets and Home Depot. You can buy them, buy the case, and people still use them. And they're translucent, so you can see what's inside. But there are some folks who kind of are a little more strict and a little more anal about that. I wouldn't want anyone to get a summons for having a light blue translucent bag. If you have used those for a long time and you've never received a summons from your local district from Bronx 8, then I would then continue to use them. But if not, I would make sure I would use clear plastic bags for all your recyclables.
We have black and blue at the shore, the same type.
Right.
The truck picks up each one.
Yeah, I just see that. It's like some people have clear bags, some people have the clear bluish bags, some people just have a bin, maybe.
Just a quick administrative question. The issue is of summons. Would that be the people on the truck, or would that be like a supervisor who comes around in a car afterwards?
Supervisor.
Yeah, so it would be sanitation enforcement. It wouldn't be anyone from on the trucks. So the trucks are your sanitation workers whose job at that moment is to remove your recyclables. But there are routing times during the day, early in the morning and in the afternoon, where sanitation enforcement would drive down your neighborhood to kind of do spot checks. And those are generally the times when tickets can be written. Summonses can be written in off hours as well. So if you do get a summons, say early in the morning, 2 or 3 in the morning, because of something that a sanitation enforcement officer saw, those are still valid summonses. You can still be summoned in the off hours, but there are specific times, and you can check on the website as to when your routing time is, like when sanitation enforcement will drive by down your block. You can check online by going right on the website and putting in your address, and you can find out what times sanitation enforcement comes down your block.
Thank you.
This may have been covered before. I apologize if it had been. I have that standard rectangular can with a lid that is tightly fitting, but does not have the latch. Is that a problem?
That's a problem because the truck can't pick it up. the autumn and the truck come out, pick that
No
up.
problem for the next 2 years.
No, that's what I meant. I meant for November 12th.
No,
When the program starts.
yeah, you're fine. Yeah, it's just that's just a design choice by the vendor, just to make sure that that lid stays flush and closed. But you know, most bins don't have that, so you're fine. Just as long as your lid can close when you put your trash in it, you'll be fine.
Right. Great, thank you.
We've seen it 2 years, I don't know if you were here.
Yeah, no, I know. Right.
So I guess technically the contract with the bins allows them to raise the price or request a price raise after however many months. So if you wait 2 years, they might cost more than they cost today. So if you own a home and you know that in 2 years you're going to need this bin, like I ordered mine, I haven't gotten it yet, but I mean, maybe if I even don't use it, I figured I'd order it for whatever.
I'm waiting for the law to change.
Well, that's why we're
That's
encouraging people to buy the bins now, because we have a feeling that come January of 2026 is going to be a mad dash for people to start buying bins to make sure that they're in compliance when the new rule goes into effect. So if you can buy the bins early, you know, we suggest that you buy them early.
Did you say what the cost was for the new bins?
It says less than $50, which is true.
Yeah, so
with shipping, they're like right around there.
Yeah, so the bins that are sold on the website, there are 2 sizes. There's a 35-gallon and a 45-gallon. The 45-gallon with tax is like $54. Shipping is free. There is a convenience charge that the vendor does charge, and that's, you know, a few dollars. Is based on it's percentage. It's a percentage of the total cost. But yeah, it's about $54 or so with tax for the largest size.
Can they be ordered online?
Yes, you can order them online. You can call 311 for assistance if you are not tech savvy or if something's wrong with the website, or if you're on the website and for some reason your order is not going through. There is a customer service number on the website that you can call, and you can order your bins from the vendor directly by calling them. They do have a dedicated sales staff. They're willing to help you out.
Otherwise, right, it's bins.nyc. Redirects you there. All right, it doesn't matter. Your building will have to, if it's bigger, it doesn't need to do this anyway. Exactly.
Right.
So
for larger buildings, we're currently running a pilot in Harlem for buildings that are that have more than 10 units. So we're doing it in the Hamilton Heights section of Harlem. It's like from 142nd Street to 153rd between Amsterdam and Columbus, like a 10-block radius. And so I don't know if you've gone over there, but there are large black bins on the street that are serviced by us on a daily basis. So if that works out, so if that works out for larger buildings, that's what we'll
super smart.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they do now, and then they just take it all out and throw it on the sidewalk. Okay, I don't have any other questions. Thank you for your time, Antonio. I think that's all for.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I want to give you my my email so you can send me the info with regard to the summonses. Again, I'm assuming the answer that I'm probably going to get, and I'll just kind of pass is that, you know, if you did receive a summons from the department, you're just going to have to fight it with oath. But maybe there is something that we can do, so I'm willing to, ask around and see if there's something. So my email is A as in apple, and my last name, W-H-I-T as in Tom, A as in Apple, K as in Kilo, E as in Echo, R as in Robert, at dsny.nyc.gov.
Easy. Thank you. And yeah, we have that, I'm sure, too.
Perfect.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
So, did you guys come to ask him questions, or do you have something else also you would like to?
Oh, I've finished, I think, like my leaves, the bags and the clear bags and.
Okay, perfect, just making sure.
Can I order online?
Here are the.
Here, please don't leave without taking some bags.
Thank you.
Yes, here are leaf bags that Community Board 8 still had, apparently.
Right.
It would be great if we could stock those stickers. The stickers for the.
Invitation stickers?
Yeah.
We can email them, we can request.
They
will send us some.
It's more than I need, and then they get put away.
It's like a cap, but I could email them.
Secret, and I never know where they are, and then.
Oh, it used to be lower, no, probably not.
Confirmed that.
Okay, so if people want stickers, people will get stickers, okay.
Yeah, you have the website, or want me to send it to you?
I know it, I mean,
Okay, great. Yeah.
Thank you.
I've ordered lots of stickers, I have stickers at home.
I'll be available here.
We will get them here, but you can also, as you said, you can order them online, they're free. It's like you check out, you fill the address in, and they'll eventually send you an envelope with all the stickers. There are coloring books, too.
I saw that also. Oh, we should, okay. Okay.
But you're in the committee, you can
No,
ask
I'm
any
saying
questions.
for the presentation for the, I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Stickers,
And
coloring books, yeah,
coloring
exactly.
books,
Yeah, they're
yeah.
DSNY coloring books.
Okay, I'm gonna write that, okay.
Okay.
But I'll see if anybody wants to join me for that.
Okay, so, moving on then, under old business, I'm gonna slightly go out of order here, because I wanna do a resolution anyway now. So, Con Ed polluted the Hudson River for a very long time. Dumped PCBs in the river, upstate, up by north of Albany, right?
General Electric.
General Electric.
GE, sorry, not Con Ed.
Yeah, right, okay.
I mean, I think they did too, right?
Or Con Ed is.
Con Ed, I'm sorry, Con Ed. I think Con Ed.
Have you ever heard those two words together?
I thought Con Ed also dumped PCBs in the river.
The famous thing is GE with decades of litigation.
General Electric, who is on the hook to clean this up and has given billions of dollars to this effort for years, has not actually helped. Or it's not helped enough. The preliminary findings are that there's still PCBs in all the fish. And at high levels, and that have not, I could share this. Wait, how do I do that? I will share it, because we're gonna, what's it on the thing, right? So basically, there's going to be a quarterly report. They have to release these however long. There's been kind of summary data from this, and other people that are now saying that basically a review of the findings are that it's not nearly where they thought it would be, and so they have to keep going. And they have to do better. And we want, obviously, GE to keep doing it. We want EPA to stay on it, because where they're cleaning up is all the way up here, but it all still washes down. And the water is better than it's ever been, but it's still, you still should not eat the fish in the Hudson, which is unfortunate and sad, because we would like the Hudson River to be nicer. It used to be nicer.
And fish are coming back.
And fish are coming back. And it's, okay, maybe the fish can survive, but we shouldn't eat them.
Right.
Either. And they probably could be healthier. But right, they're coming back. There are seals coming back sometimes a little bit. The waters are getting better. They're getting cleaner. Our district shares some of the Hudson here. I guess all of Manhattan too, but, as far as for the Bronx. So, resolution before us, based on all of these things, which I could keep scrolling forever. I'm done. Right, with the State Front site, here we go. Friends for a Clean Hudson Coalition. Sorry, I stole yours, Laura.
No, I have some notes on mine.
Oh, here, yes, okay. So, resolution before us is that because we're by the Hudson River, because it's been polluting, because they've been cleaning it up since, it was been a Superfund site since 1984, so most of my life. And they're still cleaning up. We basically wanted to tell them that they should adopt a non-protective determination in the third 5-year review to acknowledge that they have failed to remedy the goals of the cleanup and must keep going. Basically, don't give up, because it's getting better, but we have to keep going and can't assume whatever old timeline there used to be. Right, 2019, they even like acted like they had remediated things, they'd completed some of it, but every 5 years they have to say whether or not it's worked and it's done and they can finally, stop doing stuff. So that's it, and then this is getting copied to everybody all the way up to EPA, which our district manager says is okay. We are. Here's PCB concentrations all over. So does anyone have changes to this that they suggest?
Oh, well, I had a question.
Or questions?
Yeah, in the last whereas, the data available supports, is there any information that we have as to where that data coming from? And also I asked if there were other groups that are in alignment with this, and would that be advantageous to mention?
It mentions not.
No, it doesn't. Okay.
It doesn't mention, though, I mean, we're copying like a million billion people.
I forget which group, the huge Hudson River group.
Hey,
report?
excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm going to raise my hand up. Sorry about that, Dan.
That's fine.
So I have I have that email, I think, that Laura's talking about. When you gave this presentation, I went right to my email, and I got an email from the Riverkeeper, who's listed here, I see, and they have a instructions toolkit sample resolutions. Did you work from that, or does the community board have receipt of this email?
Yeah.
That is
So you're working from
the source
that.
of this. That's why I'm saying they seemingly didn't leave themselves in it either.
Okay.
But I think
so
maybe
then
that's okay
October
since they're
8th
trying to
is
get other
the
people
date.
to suggest it.
Draft.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're looking at the same thing. Okay.
I want you to send something to your congressman, and they're like, send this.
They don't want
They
them.
literally want you to cut and paste it, like, it's not.
Right, which is
It's not
generally what this
plagiarism.
is, exactly. It's not, right.
It's
No.
not considered plagiarism.
Right, but I don't know if we need to mention that. I don't think we mention them in this because
No, I don't think so.
their own copy, yeah.
My take is it's
So-
just like,
Okay.
yeah.
Right, exactly. So basically, this is the public comment period right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And that closes the day of the board meeting. So if we approve this today at committee, we can send it along saying, like, as our public comment, saying that it will be voted on by the full board on the final day of the public comment, and then we can follow up that whether it passes, but that it passed here, hopefully, and that's enough to at least make a comment, since everybody can make a comment. But we would also, as the Environmental Sanitation Committee of Community Board 8, we would like to make this comment, which I think is good and gives a good.
I think it's very good. I was just wondering if, somebody might say, well, where's the data, or, and this, in quotes, not protective determination. If that's a thing, should that be capped for us, or no?
Good question.
Steve, look at and
Dan,
the other
would
thing
you mind sharing the screen of the resolution? I don't have it.
Yes, let's go back to that. You're right.
The other question I have is,
Oh, here, thank you.
be it further resolved that EPA must begin the process of assessing additional, I think you have 2 resolve clauses in this, and that the copy of this resolution will be sent to, doesn't need to be a further resolved, you know what I mean? Doesn't need to be,
Oh.
but but possibly the sentence starting with EPA must begin the process of assessing additional remedial actions
from
to
here,
protect
make
it.
that.
Be it further resolved.
Yeah.
Does that?
That makes sense.
And then a copy of the resolution, we just send it, it just gets sent.
It gets sent, but, I mean, we could list them, but I don't think.
Or you
it
just put
needs to be
CC at the bottom and list it, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be a further resolve, so we change that piece.
Okay.
Okay. And
That's
do you think that non-protective determination should be in caps, like, as a thing?
Oh, so what we're asking is here, so at the end of all this, we have a lot of, as you see, all right, I'm letting him read a little, sorry. Upon completion, whereas all these things, 5-year review is not clear adjusting to data analysis, concentration of the fish is not planning as anticipated. So then what Laura is saying is right here, we urge EPA to adopt a non-protective determination.
Should that be in caps?
Should that be in
like a
caps,
thing?
or
Like a-
it's okay because that's the wording that they have to.
But if it's a thing.
Where is it? Which of the whereas clauses? It's on page.
It's in the therefore,
Now
it's at the end.
be it resolved.
You have the first, therefore be it resolved, that's the first resolution. So the further resolution should be in the second one, not the first, no?
No, well, we're gonna divide.
Right, I'm gonna switch it.
We're
The
gonna
be it
divide.
further resolved is gonna go here under EPA must begin process of
Yeah,
assessing.
yeah.
Therefore be it resolved.
I'm gonna split it,
Be it
yeah.
further resolved. We have two,
Yeah.
but the
You're gonna split
question
that.
is.
Separate issue.
Yes, I suggest that and everybody agrees. Not protective determination, if that's a thing, like, should it be in caps?
Is it mentioned above? Is it mentioned in one of the whereases?
No, that's what and then I wrote down, like, what is this? Like, a
What?
non-protective determination.
So the non-protective
Have we
determination,
explained it adequately
yes,
without
so
using that word, you
as
know?
this says, it had a thing, this mentioned it. They have to do this every 5 years. As
But did
part
we
of
say a
the,
non-protective determination every is that mentioned before?
said it in one of these, that they have to do this every 5 years, basically. I guess it's either that they make a protective determination or they make a
Yeah,
non-protective.
it's in the second whereas clause on the second page.
Okay, whereas federal government required to conduct a study every 5 years to evaluate the.
To determine if the remedy is protective, human health and the environment.
And
So we're
is
saying
that
it's not.
called a not,
Yeah.
in other
I
words,
think what you want to do is, it's no big deal. If you took this verbatim from what they had, they should have done better, but you put the quote marks at the end of not protective, not at the end of determination, and then I think that you'll be fine.
Oh, you're right. Not protective determination.
Right, it's determination's the generic word.
okay. And then it doesn't matter if it's in
No,
caps.
it doesn't.
Right, see what was bugging me? It
Yeah.
was, like,
Perfect.
is it a thing? Yeah, okay.
Okay, I can make those
So
changes.
the quotes are not protective.
I'll send that to Artie that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so any other comments on this resolution?
A small thing, there's, somewhere here, PCBs has a capital S on the end, it just looks funny, it's a typo.
Oh, okay.
The last whereas paragraph on the first page.
Do you go to gender neutral language, or is that,
For fish?
no, I'm talking about, no, in terms of resolutions.
Thank you,
So
Laura.
I mean, right here we have whereas PCBs are man-made
Right, I was wondering
bioaccumulative.
whether or not there's any kind of a code, a city code about using non-gender
Yeah.
language.
No, men
Right.
did it, not
I don't
women,
know
I'll
what-
tell you right now.
No, but I'm just saying, you know, or,
Natural.
manufactured, rather than,
Should we
What
we
whereas
can
are
switch
you
it.
talking about?
One, two,
used to be a stickler for grammar
the fifth whereas on the first
1,
page
2, 3, 4.
years ago.
There's PCBs.
are man-made, and I hadn't even think of it, but yeah, that is
Protector.
that is very,
Human-made?
yeah. Centric.
Or manufactured.
I appreciate grammar, people
Yeah.
and editors, because
I think,
read them.
Bob?
I think you need just a little more, introduction to who we are, why we matter. Okay, there's, something about Community Board 8. A sentence or an amplification of our stake in river access, clean water, where are you? Just why are we speaking here? District borders, the lower Hudson River Valley.
How about we
and-
Oh, yeah,
add
look,
that
we
to
left
the
it,
second-
and,
Why
yeah.
don't we
Oh, yeah.
add that to the second whereas
We
first
should.
page?
That's where I'm trying to.
And
Yeah.
Well, should we be
River access.
looping, all right, we should add in that and it has been working to create
Longtime proponent
to
of-
extend the
yeah,
Hudson
longtime
River Greenway.
proponent. Exact, longtime proponent of Hudson River access and the Hudson River Greenway, just to establish our record of speaking on the advantages of clean water and to a riverfront community.
As a separate whereas or adding it to?
No, add it to that
whereas.
whereas. No,
Well,
you can add it there.
Okay.
Whereas Bronx Community Board, a district, borders the lower Hudson River and is a longstanding advocate of river
Water.
access along.
Well, we advocate
River
for
access,
clean water
clean water,
for
and
recreation, for.
and yes, that's good, Laura. Yep. And waterfront recreation. Bob Bender
Waterfront
will say we'll want Hudson River Greenway. Always just name check your major resolutions and positions
Well,
in the past.
it is good to relate it to Community Board 8.
Absolutely.
That is good.
Yeah, why are we reading these guys?
So
it's not
whereas
just
Bronx
copy and
Community
paste.
Board 8's district borders the lower Hudson River Valley,
Really.
and Bronx Community Board 8, I mean, I would do it as a separate whereas, but it doesn't matter. Whereas Bronx Community Board 8 is a longstanding advocate for Hudson River waterfront access.
That's good.
Access and clean water.
For our residents, yeah, exactly.
Clean water and access.
We should mention the Hudson River Greenway in here too, for fun, no.
Including waterfront access,
Yeah.
including the development of Hudson River Greenway, linking Manhattan and Westchester.
Yeah.
Why not? Good.
It just puts us on the map of their advocates a little more specifically.
Okay. Yeah, why not?
I actually think it's better as a separate whereas.
Well, yeah, that's what he was
Yeah,
saying.
yes, I agree.
And whereas, we can repeat CB8, whereas CB8.
So you keep the second one, and then the new one is the third one.
Yeah, right, it just bumps
Perfect.
everything down. It's fine, there's a million whereases,
Right,
which is
right.
how these work.
Right.
That's good, and otherwise gives a full, like, rundown, I think, of everything. But yeah, and we kind of repeat ourselves because it says that the presence of PCBs significantly diminishes economic activity and recreational use and enjoyment of the river is, like, already there, but we can still say that, like, we've always pushed for this, and we're still pushing for it. Here we are, continuing that. So,
Are you gonna have to get RFK Jr. sign off on this, or?
He's
been drummed out of that quick.
Right.
You remember when this first came up many years
Steve, you're
ago?
making me regret that I am not
Do you
there
remember
today.
who introduced the resolution? That was Paul Elston.
Oh, okay.
And
Of
I
course.
created a furor that night because I didn't know who Riverkeeper was.
Did you know Aaron was a former board member
I
many years ago?
know.
I think you were an officer.
Yeah, I created a furor that night because we didn't know anything about Riverkeeper. Paul Elston was a member of the community who was very much involved in environmental causes. You know, he and a number of others, were responsible for the Green Belt. And, but he was presenting a resolution. Nobody knew the Riverkeeper or what RFK's connection, and this was all new many years ago. And I raised a question at a full board meeting. I said, well, who are these people? And
What's all this about fish and clean water?
No,
I'm kidding.
this I know, but who is Riverkeeper that we should be, who are they? Who's on their board? I mean, what did they? And Paul Elston got very angry at me because, how dare I question Paul Elston? And, but I remember that other members of the board then, basically, chimed in, yeah, why don't you answer his question? Why don't, and it took up a good proportion of time, so much so that when the Riverdale Press reported the meeting, they talked about all these community board members wasting the public's time.
Well, that's become a great tradition.
so if we have no other comments or
Right.
changes,
No.
I would like to present or vote on
Second.
this as edited.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, does anyone have anyone abstaining or opposing? And Robert, I see you as I guess you get it, does he get a vote? You get a vote.
Yeah, I
Except
support.
if he's not here.
He's there.
Well, if a
I can
community member
record
is
your
allowed-
vote.
I'm voting yes,
Committee's
and we'll
not
figure out if I count later.
You get 2 votes.
The rules change. You gotta be here physically to vote.
He's
Oh,
a
yeah?
community committee member, he's not a board member.
Doesn't matter, he still has to be here to
Okay.
vote. I mean,
Thanks for clarifying.
Okay, so no, you don't get to vote, I'm sorry. You can still, be in favor of it, I hope.
Right.
So otherwise, everyone's in favor?
Yep.
So the resolution passes. So, right, I'm in favor, Laura's in favor, Steve's in favor, Emily's in favor, Omar is not here. And no one else gets to vote. Okay, so it passes.
And, you could leave all the people as.
Motion seconded by, motion by, did we?
No,
you don't need
you don't need it, because it's in committee.
Oh,
Doesn't even need a second.
Yeah.
okay.
Coming out of a committee. And, you could leave who you're sending it to, it's just not a be it resolved. You know
Right,
what I mean?
yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
right.
I was gonna just
Yeah,
a
yeah,
CC'd.
Oh, right, I didn't notice that, right.
All right, so that will come up, we'll vote on it at the
Perfect.
final thing. This I have to keep here, I guess.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you for doing
Yeah,
that.
that seemed great. I mean, I'd read about it, this was already on the agenda before this was then sent around, and they
Sure.
about the public comment. It was. I wouldn't talk about it anyway, just separately. Okay.
Just out of curiosity, is a proposal, I know it's just whatever that's called,
Just in anticipation of them releasing their report.
There's an actual recommendation to continue to do more dredging upriver or not? I'm just curious. We don't know that.
I mean, I think they would just keep going.
I don't know that they've dredged in a long time, but.
Okay, so then, other things in old business. Jerome Park Reservoir, they are still working on it. They released their quarterly update in June, which was after our last meeting. Just to outline what's going on, people are very into this. The Jerome Park Reservoir, I didn't realize, is one of the most important parts of the, New York City water infrastructure, because all of our water goes through that.
That's right.
It's pumped down, no matter which reservoir it's coming from, Croton or whichever other one's upstate. It funnels down and will, at least for a moment, be at the Jerome Park Reservoir on its way out to the rest of the city, which is why they will always leave one of the two basins full while they're doing work right now. And they're working on half the basin. Eventually they'll switch, but they will always have one basin full because they need to push the water through it to continue out.
Not at all, was not my understanding at all.
That was what it sounded like.
There are times it's completely shut.
I don't think it's ever been, they said it's never been completely shut.
I thought both basins have been empty at times, but.
See, they need it empty so that it could take overflow.
Yeah, there was that, and then there was also this idea that it does contain a fair amount, so it's like an emergency reservoir, but it hasn't necessarily functioned in that essential way because whatever they're doing, I don't know. That's interesting. I'd never heard that everything goes through there. That would be in some ways, I'm not come to words.
It all goes through there and then to the filtration plant and then to everything else. This is pre
Filtration.
the Croton filtration plant.
And then
Yeah.
Woods Island.
There is a map of all this on the EP's website.
Is Deb still a member of our committee, of this committee?
I'm sorry, what?
Is Deb still a member of this committee?
Yeah.
No, she
Oh, that
is now no longer
Oh.
just parks.
She can
And
answer these questions, I think.
yeah, exactly. So basically, right, here's the work hours, this is what they're still working on. Right, and they're expecting the North Basin to continue to be empty until next September. Is how it is
They're
right now.
doing
Because,
east wall construction,
yeah,
and they have had to keep that empty. The committee fought to keep water in the North Basin. They were going to keep it completely empty. We actually went to Albany to seek historic designation for a full reservoir, and we were defeated. Eventually, we got DEP to agree to a 5 to 8 foot space from the water line. That's the promise going forward. They did want to keep it empty. That was their original plan in 2018? We fought that back.
Exactly. So they're working on it. It's getting better. They're redoing the walls and ramps, and there'll be, I guess, a pump for their deaths in the park. Okay.
I wonder if there's any value in, it's not any particular meeting, but to have the folks who are the specialists come in and tell us where they stand on things, because
They did last year, and they will again this
we
year.
had them in last year, yep.
Yeah. Maybe you missed that meeting.
They came to the ENS meeting before you joined.
We did,
They came and presented it.
And
Yep,
before you
we
came
had-
to ENS.
It's in the minutes. I put their whole presentation in there.
Oh, okay.
I love a photo of a nice overhead photo of the whole reservoir full from whenever that was.
For the fall, one of the fall.
We use that image always because it's pretty.
There's like a lot of people.
But exactly, it's been a while.
Meeting.
I forgot I had just joined mid-year, yeah, okay.
Water Tunnel 3 was figured at 30 years. When it started, I worked on it. I did the whole, 25 people died on that. I put a plaque over in the Bronx, in the Union Hall. 25 people died in that Water Tunnel 3.
Really?
Over the 30-year period.
Wow.
Appreciate your clean water. What went into the infrastructure behind all of this that we're still using.
Now, I did text Karen to let
Okay.
her know we're ready for her. There's an
Yes,
update
if she wants to join. I
on,
don't know if there's anyone in the.
on the cement going into the sewer.
Right.
The construction
Yeah.
project, and she.
That's also, sorry, that counts as old business whenever,
Yeah,
if Karen
yeah.
comes, we'll jump in.
Right.
I guess DEP gave their little announcement that they fully finalized purchase, which was a word I hadn't realized was what it was, of the land, the CSX land for the Tibbetts Brook Greenway. I don't know what to call it yet. We don't know. Is there an official name, Bob, or is it's just like
the DEP daylighting ULURP?
Right.
What
Well, this
we've
is more than-
understand is that the City Council, City Planning Commission approved it. City Council needs to vote on it, and they have not taken it up yet. And they may not need to. I think there's like a statute of limitations on action, at which point the City Planning Commission. I have no idea. We've been trying to find out all summer what the vote is, so we could be sure to turn out, because the final act of every ULURP is a City Council vote.
Right.
Right.
That's the piece after. This was they bought all the land all the way down to 230th, and then they needed from 230th to the river to just like dig under and put a pipe.
Yeah. So,
Right.
and as you recall, it was narrowly focused on daylighting, but hopefully there'll be more options for access. But anyway, no, Dan, we have no news on the City Council action on that. And
Okay.
I will get back to you about what's going on, whether that inaction constitutes approval of a ULURP. I mean,
that would work.
and it needs to proceed through a certain calendar by city law. So I will find that out for you, King. Unfortunately,
Right.
I can't
Thank
call
you,
the
yes.
Corp. I cannot call the Corp Council. That person doesn't exist anymore. Sorry, bad
No,
joke.
there's an acting Corp Council.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah.
Exactly. So otherwise, that's moving along anyway. Slowly, eventually, that will happen, which will be great. Did you use that, Karen? Or no?
Yeah, now, if you want to pull up, she sent you something on the situation at 232nd.
Yeah.
When you're ready, when you're ready.
Oh, but I don't know if we here. Oh, this? Yes.
Yes. To it, but she said we could start looking at it,
Okay.
Oh, I have something I could share. Are you talking about new business? I mean, old business, or are you talking about?
Yeah, this is still old
Jerome Park.
business, the West 232nd Street update.
Okay, yeah,
Again,
I can show
Oh,
that.
look, here, it's Karen. Here we go.
She sent it to me,
No, I
so
haven't.
she wouldn't be bothered. Okay,
All right, Bob, go ahead, we haven't started this.
okay.
Well, Karen just joined too.
Yes,
So
I'm just
Karen,
here.
if you would like to talk, or Bob, you guys can fight.
Karen, do you want me to show your,
Oh, yeah, show the
Yep.
PowerPoint, and I just
You're
wanted to
welcome.
say, okay, go ahead.
If you could let me share the screen.
We have,
Do you not see, do you want to do it, you can do it yourself, here.
You just have to make me host.
That's easier, then you don't have to beep at me to go to the next slide or something.
Okay, does everyone see Karen's presentation?
Stop sharing.
I see it.
Right, but it was me doing it here, now this is better. You do it.
Okay.
It's the same.
Okay, so Karen, take it away.
All right, so the problem is that they were putting concrete, washing out the concrete and putting it into the storm drain. You know, we haven't had rain for like almost 2.5, 3 weeks, just a little bit. And so if you look at this presentation, you'll see that they put the concrete into the drain. They put in the neighbors put in a 311 complaint, and they took pictures, and somebody came and inspected it and actually went into the drain somehow and saw the concrete along the edge. So then it got
Karen, you
closed.
wanna say who put it in? You said they're putting it in.
Kellyanne put it in, and the DO and the I think the sanitation department was the sanitation inspector was the one that went in and looked at the concrete and said, yeah, the concrete is there. He's going to discuss it with his lieutenant. Then the next day it was closed. So we don't know what happened. We don't know what the story is, but I did speak to, if you saw the letter that I wrote, I did speak to a lawyer from the Riverkeeper, Mike DeLong, and I explained to him what was going on. And he said, well, even though we don't have the actual rules, that it's not right to be putting concrete into the drain. And even Effie said that to me, well, we don't want the concrete going into the drain. So we need to make sure that we figure out a way to make sure to get the buildings department or whoever, I don't know, to like get a handle on these people who are doing buildings that's like really out of control, basically. Okay, so you can show the presentation, Bob. Oh no, I guess
Doing it, right?
Daniel's gonna have to do it. Daniel's gonna have to do it.
Okay.
I was doing it. I can take it back.
Okay.
I have it here. Here we go.
So pictures are taken from above, and that was the site as of the 18th, which is so that's now today. Okay, go ahead. And the one on the right is the picture of the house next to the development that was got a sinkhole, and they had to fix it. And this is where you can see that if it. Okay.
So this isn't shared. I couldn't see these videos either. Can you?
I could see them on my phone, my house thing. So when if you send it to everybody, they can look at it, at the house. And this shows you where the concrete truck is and how it's close to the sewer line next, and they're dumping it into the catch basin. Okay, next.
This is where?
232nd Street. 232nd Street. There's the drain, and that's what the evidence was of it going in. But they must have pulled the drain up and looked at it to see that. This explains that the man, the DEP or sanitation agent, we don't know who it was. He took the picture and he said that it was definitely concrete inside the pipe. So in my opinion, the DEP should be there doing something. I don't know what, but this is all like new to me. Is there another picture?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. So what I'm suggesting is that since I understand we weren't going to be able to meet in October, let's hold a meeting of the agency people with the district manager in the office at some point, maybe during the day. Oh, that's the flooding of the street. I mean, and you can see the plume of the concrete and the mud coming from the groundwater. I mean, it's just horrible. Yeah. It's just horrible. And it's just going to be worse. If we get a big rain or if we have a hurricane, it's just going to be worse.
Is that Tippett Tower's basement there, Karen?
Yeah, that's Tippett Tower basement. And there's other pictures that they sent. It looks like the concrete is coming through the wall. I can't really tell the pictures if I don't have them in front of me.
Well, there's
telling
cracks
me,
in their
Oh,
fenders.
over here. Yeah, well, that's because what happens is if there's moisture on the other side, it like wicks through the concrete,
oh,
and then you
yeah,
get
yeah,
that
yeah,
where it, like
right, right,
you get like sand kind of like coming
right.
out the other side.
It
So
certainly
it
is
means
not,
it's like been absorbing water even before the
right,
flooding, maybe.
right.
Okay. This is what approvals do.
Thank you. Yeah. So DEP had wanted to attend today. They will probably come. Someone, maybe Effie, will come to our next meeting in November.
I think
'Cause we're
that's
not
too
gonna have
long
it
to
before
wait.
that.
We can't, I
Yeah.
don't think,
I know.
yeah, we can't wait.
FARA meets with agencies.
Exactly.
In other
We
words,
will
there-
still talk to them. We will.
In other words,
I will send this
committee's work
presentation to
continues
her.
Even
Yeah.
without formal public meetings, it
Yeah.
continues.
Well, and they will continue
We can do that.
Okay,
reporting at the 311. I guess they have probably come out. They probably have ticketed the people. I'll find out what the what the status is right now. Right. Has
Dan, I
there
would
been a stop?
advocate,
Has there been a fine?
I would advocate for a Zoom link or whatever link to Kellyanne and maybe Karen if they want to sit in on that meeting with the DM, because they need to just lower the boom on this. There's something wrong that this continues to
yeah, I agree. And we should
pollute.
get the elected officials. All right, guys, I can't even see you anymore. I don't know what happened.
Right.
So good. Do you need me anymore?
We always
No?
need you.
Oh, thank you.
No, I
Thank
know
you.
you have a conflict. You're at
Yes,
something.
I'll be at the
Okay.
next meeting. Right. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Karen.
Okay, thank you, Daniel.
But exactly. No, I will pass on the presentation. We'll reach out. I'll have Sarah or Artie reach out to DEP and kind of get a response from them right now.
Right, I mean.
Because there's no reason to wait.
There was a letter written.
We went
to
back
them.
and forth with them all the time.
There was a letter written to them, but there hasn't been a response. But basically, they're incapacitating a sewer, a critical sewer, with the cement.
Well, yeah, no, that's a violation. I mean,
Yeah.
they're not supposed to do that. I don't know what they're supposed to do, how they're supposed to, because the water's involved in the concrete. I feel like there's always some amount that's going to go, but right, you have to contain the actual cement part of it to your site. It's not supposed to be out in the sidewalk at all, or beyond their fences, I don't think. I mean, they're building a huge building by me in Marble Hill, and I haven't seen, I've gone down there, they're not washing concrete and down the drains. And the trucks are coming in like, lines of them, cement trucks when they were doing it.
Okay, so I'm glad that we were able to get that update.
Yes. So otherwise, I don't know if there's any new business. Is there anything?
I wanted to ask, so we had spoken about, I'm a school administrator at SAR at 254th, and our second grade class is doing a study about the community and the environment, and they asked us to come and present to the Environment and Sanitation Committee to come and present to their second grade class alongside, with the council member, because they're gonna split the grade into two groups, and we would do like a 20-minute whatever, and then we would swap groups and do their presentation again. So we've been talking about it, and we'll have like a talk. But I'm happy if somebody wants to do it in conjunction with me. It would be at like 2:10, like 2:30-ish, on a weekday in October, like the middle of October.
I just want to say that DEP has curriculum for elementary.
Right, so they actually, what they want to focus in on is the role, like, politics and policy play in the environment, like how.
What grade is this?
Second grade, where it's an advanced school. We're very smart there.
When they finish second grade, they get a master's in
policy.
Administration.
So they want to talk about how, like, local elected officials and local community boards kind of weigh in on what's like going on and how we pass, legislation seems like or like suggestions.
I'd send
Karen.
Karen
Okay.
would be the best.
So Karen would be.
You should message her, or email her. We can.
She usually talks to children. But I can filter that, like, if somebody wants to share the information, I can use my.
I don't think she can talk to children unless. But exactly, she would be great, I mean,
No, I asked because once I had, actually somebody from like a total not a political field come and talk to my kindergarten class, and they brought, it was like the beginning of the year, and they brought source sheets with them and handed them out to my kindergartners who could not yet read, that's why I asked.
I'm a retired middle school teacher, and, DEP has a terrific, I'm sure they have elementary level too, but my thing was when the kids throw your potato chip bag down, and it goes down the sewer, how it goes into the river and goes into the ocean. That was very fascinating to the kids on where trash. It was really focused on, you know, why we don't throw trash. And
Great.
the water, you know, at that age, there's a lot of things, even experiments with, you know, clean water. I mean, check out what DEP has for that level. But the garbage, how it goes and flows and ends up in the ocean, your potato chip bag, it changed the kids. They didn't, you know, it was really fascinating.
Okay, great. Thank you for the suggestion.
yeah, let me like reply to your email.
Okay,
Copy
with
Karen
Karen.
and,
Great, perfect. Amazing. Thank you.
Great, that would be fun, but it's like hard.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Yeah.
Hard enough to get home for like 5:30 when I pick my daughter up.
Right. Yeah, I totally get it.
Hey.
Otherwise, right, I mean, I think that's mostly what's going on, right?
Right.
Anything else other than everyone's?
Motion to adjourn?
Okay.
Okay. Great meeting.
At whatever time,
Great
8.
meeting.
Thanks very much.
Nobody goes without gifts. Take
Yes,
some
if anyone has a yard or trees, take some bags. I don't have those.
Mike?
Well, take a set.
I don't have trees in the yard.
I mean, I'd have to pick
Patio.
a tree for myself.
Like driveway. There's no like dirt in our property, but, which actually is easy for Lee, so I gotta cancel this.
Totally, perfect.
Uh,
Thank you.